What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about the Norwegian concept of friluftsliv, which is a word I've never heard before, and I'm pretty sure I did not pronounce correctly, but apparently this is a very important idea in Norwegian culture, so I was very interested to learn more about what friluftsliv actually is. So we have a video here where this Norwegian is going to explain how Norwegian friluftsliv brings out the best in people. It brings out the best in Norwegian people. I'm very curious. That sounds very good. I'm not sure how that works, but let's take a look.
So this is a regular Monday morning at my Norwegian office in Oslo, and I asked my boss, who is actually from Namsos in Trøndelag, not far from here, how his weekend has been.
Okay.
And so his answer is fantastic. I went climbing a glacier with my two best friends. Then one of them fell in a hole. It took us 4 hours to get him out. The weather was amazing.
What? This is so Norwegian. Most Norwegian day I've ever heard. Hiking a glacier? And their friend fell in a hole and they got him out of the hole, but it was great. It was a great time anyway. Okay.
And what my boss is describing here is an extreme version of a Norwegian concept called friluftsliv. So it's a bit of a mouthful in English, so I've divided it into three for you.
Oh, okay.
So,
Because we can't pronounce it. She said friluftsliv, I think.
Fri means free in English, luft means air, and liv means life.
Free air life? Friluftsliv. So what her boss experienced was friluftsliv, free air life? Like when he went hiking on the glacier?
So this word was first published by the famous playwright Henrik Ibsen in 1859, but
Oh,
it's
wow.
actually been part of the Norwegian culture for over 5,000 years.
This is part of this friluftsliv. I'm not exactly sure what it is yet, besides hiking on a glacier and falling in a hole. This has been part of Norwegian culture for 5,000 years. I've never heard of it. Good. I'm glad I'm finally learning about this. What is this?
So if you think about it, it's quite amazing that reconnecting with nature and having an outdoor lifestyle is still part of the Norwegian soul, despite this very modern lifestyle that Norwegians have today.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that friluftsliv? Connecting with nature? Being outdoors, having your soul connected to the outdoors. That idea of that being important part of life is it's definitely something I've heard about Norwegians enjoying nature. I didn't know it had its own word, friluftsliv, or that it was kind of beyond just going outside. It's this whole concept of friluftsliv.
So what is so special about friluftsliv? It's basically a philosophy of outdoor life, and
Okay.
it's about a simple life in nature without destroying or disturbing it. So it has
Oh.
absolutely nothing to do with the commercialization of friluftsliv, which has been done recently on social media, where you can see things like this. People lining up on top of Norwegian mountains to take pictures of themselves when they've actually not necessarily been hiking there.
Oh, this is very interesting. Yes. Okay. I'm starting to get it. This is a philosophy of friluftsliv. Free life, free air life. Living your life, going outside and connecting with nature. Yes, that's definitely something that Americans could learn from. Oh my God, that's connecting with outdoors and nature isn't talked about that much in America. It's not a part of our culture. For a lot of Americans, staying inside, watching YouTube, watching TV, and playing games is our culture now. So this is a really, really cool aspect of Norwegian culture. that I think Americans could learn a lot about, but a lot of Americans are guilty of this right here, commercializing it, just going somewhere to take an Instagram picture or something, not really actually connecting or enjoying nature in an authentic way.
Of themselves when they've actually not necessarily been hiking there. I have many examples. This is another one.
Right, right.
And Friluftsliv doesn't need to be as extreme as my boss going climbing glaciers. It can be something as simple as taking a Sunday hike with your family
Right.
in the forest, or to going skiing with your friends on the weekend from cabin to cabin, or even going ice fishing with your grandfather.
So anything outdoors. This is amazing. So I didn't realize this was such an integral part of Norwegian culture. I just thought a lot of Norwegians enjoy going outside because Norway is a really beautiful place. But it seems like Norwegians are actually taught and encouraged to go outside, connect with nature, do anything, go on a walk, whatever, go on a hike, just do something to be in nature. That's really cool. That's very smart. That's a very smart philosophy to have. I'm sure that has lots of benefits on your mental health and well-being.
So in Norway, Friluftsliv is literally everywhere. You have
Okay.
it, first of all, in the entertainment world, where Norwegians love to watch something called slow TV. One of the shows is, for example, watching birds hatching live on an island in northern Norway.
Slow TV. Yes, slow TV. I learned about that a while ago in a video that I did, actually, of like watching trains like go by and watching birds or a fire for hours. That's certainly not something that's ever been done here. That is a very Norwegian thing. So even the television in Norway has some connection to friluftsliv. Right. Okay.
Others feature the national Friluftsliv hero Lars Monsen and following his adventures all over the country.
Okay.
Parents also prefer to put their children in what they call Friluftskindergartens, where children are outside 80% of the time.
Right.
And
80% of the time. Yeah, Norwegian kindergarten being outdoors. What an amazing idea. This is definitely stuff America could learn from. We definitely don't let our children outside enough. Certainly not during school. In Norway, 80% of the time, Norwegian kindergartners could be outside in nature. What an amazing idea. Because this might seem normal in Norway, but this whole idea of friluftsliv throughout all of society is really new to me. And I like it. I think it's a good idea.
happens when it rains or snows, which is actually quite often in Norway, well, they enjoy what I call bad weather in good clothing. And even in the political world, the Norwegian parliament has passed something called the Friluftslaw, which includes allemannsrett, and that is in English the freedom to roam. And this allows anyone, whether you are a Norwegian or a foreigner, to come to Norway, pick mushrooms, pick berries, and even camp outdoors, even on private property.
Wow, even on private property. Right, so there's even Norwegian laws built around friluftsliv and giving everyone the best opportunity and freedom to explore nature, enjoy the outdoors, and connect. This makes sense now that she says this. Like, so many parts of Norway and Norwegian culture are built around promoting friluftsliv. I never really appreciated that.
So, why am I talking about friluftsliv today? Why not ask a Norwegian person? I mean, I'm French. While I was learning how to...
She's French? I didn't even realize that. She's French. I thought she was Norwegian. Somehow she knows a lot about friluftsliv. I could not tell. Okay, anyway.
To walk on the pavements in Paris.
Maybe it's actually good that she's French. She's not Norwegian. So the idea of friluftsliv really sticks out to her, is really apparent to her, like it would be to an American visiting Norway. It really, this philosophy of friluftsliv really sticks out to people outside of Norway. So I'm actually enjoying her perspective because it's kind of a new idea for her as well.
Norwegians were probably mastering the skiing techniques on some frozen lake in Norway. But that's exactly the point. I've moved here 9 years ago, and before that I lived in 9 different countries,
Okay.
among which Indonesia, the Philippines, Canada, the United Kingdom,
Wow.
and, for example, Denmark.
Wow.
And actually, I have analyzed and observed the Norwegian concepts, but also embraced many of them. And I could say now that friluftsliv is one of the reasons I decided to settle down in Norway.
Wow. Whoa, that's very high praise. She has lived in 9 different countries all over the world. She goes to Norway, she learns about friluftsliv, and she determines that Norway is her favorite place with some of her favorite philosophies, like friluftsliv. That's amazing. That's really high praise.
So I'm going to give you my take on why I think friluftsliv brings the best out of all of us in
Okay.
relationships, in the workplace, and also in society.
Wow. Okay.
So in relationships, very soon after coming to Norway, I became single and I started going online on dating websites. And
Okay.
there, I didn't speak that much Norwegian, but I noticed one word everywhere on every profile. You had to
Friluftsliv.
like friluftsliv to get a date with a Norwegian man.
Wow, this is amazing. So I'm actually really enjoying her perspective of her moving to Norway and discovering friluftsliv and how it's a part of all these different aspects of Norwegian life. So even in the dating, when she was dating, people want to people want their partner to enjoy friluftsliv. Maybe you go on dates in nature or on a hike or skiing and stuff like that. That must be a big part of it too. Okay, okay.
I heard from men that it's the same with women. So I started researching and realized, what friluftsliv was, and I felt like this was a lot of work for me to suddenly love being in nature. At that time,
Right.
I was
This is very relatable because for most Americans, we have a big difficulty connecting with nature, finding time to go into nature, finding time to get outside. And Americans don't really emphasize it. We don't prioritize friluftsliv or anything like it. I don't think Americans appreciate how important it is, how helpful it could be to our well-being. That's for sure.
like a workaholic city girl. I didn't like the countryside. If I had a few days off, I would just go to another capital city on a weekend trip. And so all these profiles filled with, a guy with a husky dog, with a tent, with a mountain, with a fjord, with a sunset.
She should have, if she had been looking at dating in America, she would not have this problem. That's funny. All the Norwegians on the dating are really outdoors type of people, right?
Made me feel like I was a bit outside of this world and I didn't really have a chance.
Huh.
But a friend of mine called Mia, once I saw her and she was wearing very laid-back clothing, running pants and hiking shoes and
Okay.
no makeup on, and I asked her where she was going. And she said, yeah, I'm going on a date with Espen. We're going hiking in the woods and it's going to be very low-key and I don't need to be anyone else than myself.
Yeah, like the idea of going on a date, hiking, that is not that's not common in America at all. Some people maybe, like some Americans are outdoors people, but that's like a very specific hobby. This would be very unusual in America, but by the sound of it, this is kind of common in Norway, which is pretty amazing. It's pretty good.
So I realized that friluftsliv can actually bring the best out of you, at least in this dating and relationship period, where
Right.
you can just be your simple self. And
Okay.
after that, I also concluded, after seeing a lot of these interactions, that Norwegians don't look only for someone who is physically attractive. They also look for someone who is active, reliable, and resilient. And actually,
Oh, so enjoying Friluftsliv and participating in Friluftsliv is like a way for Norwegians to... Norwegians find that attractive if you enjoy Friluftsliv. Okay.
liking friluftsliv is making sure that you are those three things. Because in the end, you don't want to know whether this guy or this girl can be cute and charming in a restaurant. You want to know how the person will be when you have been hiking for 6 days in the snow, you got lost, you need to find a place for your tent, or you need to...
Oh, I get it now. It's a way, if you go hiking or exploring or outdoors, you're gonna learn a lot more about the person. It's much more intimate, and you're doing a lot more, and it's a bit more stressful, so you kind of see more sides of that person. That makes so much sense. I think in America, we're probably a lot more surface level here. We don't really get very deep or go on hiking dates or to learn about people. That's a very, very smart thing. That's such a good idea. This Friluftsliv is such a good Norwegian idea. I love this.
to know how this person is going to react if you are 5 days in a tent, locked in there with no access to toilet or a proper bathroom. It's
Right.
been raining all the time. And so, to show you how far I've come in this integration process
Oh.
with Friluftsliv, I'm going to show you 2 pictures. The first one is me on a dating profile.
At the beginning.
This is for a non-Norwegian manly audience, and looking all nice and fresh in this dress. And this is the second one for a Norwegian audience. I'm
Wow.
setting up a fishing net with a lot of wool on my body.
That is so funny. That's the difference between dating in Norway. It's kind of nice because Norwegians seem to look past the surface level a bit more and value things like Friluftsliv and connecting with nature and what that means for people and how they react. And this is really interesting stuff, actually. But we are like halfway done with this speech. I am really enjoying learning about this idea. I've never heard of Friluftsliv, but I think I'm going to stop here for now and continue the rest of this in part 2. So if you've enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on Friluftsliv and what that means. And if you're interested in part 2 of this, or just more videos like this, you know, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.